All right. So do you want to, since it's an hour session, do you want to go over that replay that we just played, or do you want to go over, or like that replay we just did, and then one of the ones that you sent me, or both of the ones that you sent me, and just not go over the one we just did?
I would say
I'm cool with either way.
I'd say the both that I sent you because I got stomped in both of them.
Okay.
And
That's a good idea.
on yours, I can probably look at the replay I did and see why I got stomped. What's not important, but enough to keep it interesting in 10-minute clips.
That'd be cool.
Oh. Hopefully. Alright, back to what we're going. Oh god, why am I that color? Oh, you have...
I have colored my mode on.
Yes. No worries.
Do you want me to turn it off for the replay?
I don't, it doesn't matter. I'm fine. Okay. I just had to realize it was there.
Color. Probably should have been cool. I'm a little bit confused here off of the kickoff because it looks like you had 30 boosts to get back, and it looks like you might have wasted it somewhere.
On the landing.
I think you needed to flip during the time you were boosting there. That's just why you got back a little bit slower than expected. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you could have coupled that retreat back with a front flip or a diagonal flip to get you back a little bit faster, because it would have given you a burst of momentum. All you really need to do is just like boost for like 12 to 20 boosts there and use your flip, and could have saved like another 10 or 12 on the way back. Doesn't really matter. You got back regardless.
Could have got back more efficiently though.
Right, I was just a little bit confused why it looked like you wasted some boost there, and I was trying to figure out why.
That was me rushing because I knew he was right on my butt. Or I thought he was more on my butt.
Oh wait, that was some scoring. I'm like, what the heck? Right here. You went for a demo. Yeah, he was actually going to be able to demo you, I think, if you did cut the sides sooner. So right here, you should have had that angle, but the ball was just going so quickly. Yeah, it was going to be hard. Can't really blame you too much for that. Might have been able to score it, but not a huge deal. He was pretty close to demoing you like multiple times.
And there.
Oh, missed the catch.
Yep.
I'll remember that. I feel like right here, the only reason you lost this was because you flipped towards the right. You also flipped a little bit late too, I think, so it was able to go over you. I'm gonna slow it down though, just to make sure.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious why it went that way, because it looks like you got plenty of speed. I was gonna fly.
I'm upset with myself watching this because I shouldn't have boosted at the end.
Oh.
Because I was already supersonic.
You did boost a bit too long. I don't know why that went over. Yeah, it looks like he just got higher up because you jumped it a little bit late, or it could have also because you boosted at the last second. It could have gotten you there faster than you intended to. It's little stuff like that could make a difference, I guess. But oh well. Back to your point of view. So you didn't get scored on. Probably.
I heard him jump behind me.
Yeah. So you not score here. I feel like having ball came on here, at least like tagging it. Well, actually, one thing I probably would have done is gone for the side boost on the side. I wouldn't stay right underneath it. Getting that small boost probably would have been a bit more effective because you could have gone in and probably saved or gotten to the ball a little bit faster than him if you had a bit of boost and you just like turned into it. It doesn't really matter though, since you got he gave you a lot of space and went for boost in the demo anyways. I'm very surprised you didn't get scored on here. Well,
I felt like the Psionics
demo heavy.
Well, I felt like Psionics was giving me back for my bad catch.
Bit of a panic dribble right there, I think.
That was what I was talking about. I was too busy watching him.
Yeah. Only reason that don't work, you looks like you went for a 45-degree flick with the ball on the wrong side of your car / the middle of your car. Also, since you're like tapping your boost so often here, and keeping the ball's a little bit far back for my likeness on this, but I feel like if you kept it a little bit farther forward to get that speed instead of using your boost to get that speed instead, you would have been able to keep the ball a little bit more clean on your car. Would have made you go faster than you wanted to maybe, but yeah, I don't think it really mattered. I guess because you were keeping an eye on him. If you are like really focused on your opponent, it makes it hard to do, you know, two things at once, dribbling perfectly and you know, flicking and keeping an eye on them.
Well, this is I've started practicing that Ocelon style flick you were talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Is that what you're trying to do? I have.
No, I wasn't trying to.
You.
But I haven't quite got it consistently, but I definitely got the concept down. Now I'm just trying to get the muscle memory.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Slot in. I like this. That was perfect because I think you probably realized you had no boost, so you just kind of you flicked it with what you had left. That was the perfect time to do that. Hold on. Can't really tell if you were losing that or not because of the replay. It was kind of like jittery at the end of that dribble there. You might have been able to keep that on top of your car and gone for like a side flick since you were going straight towards the middle. Since you did a front flick, it just kind of went right at him. You would have had to like hit it above him somehow, and from that far away, it would have been very hard to do that. But oh well. I would have done a side flick there though. Rough catch on the ground. Potential demo chance there, unless he decides to go for like a wall shot, I guess. But he didn't. Like a touch here, while hitting it up the wall was fine. You had enough boost, you probably could have brought it back into your corner and tried to keep possession of it and gotten the back boost and then gotten the ball again. Going the ball at the wall, not a bad option, but it does keep possession in his hands.
Right here, I was playing no boost because I missed that boost spawn.
But you got 41 here.
No, I was playing no boost, like acting to him.
Oh,
from that.
Okay.
That's why I wasn't using any boost from the last half of that.
Got it.
Especially if I missed the boost spawn, I try not to use any of it. Striker training.
Yeah, I think if you had touched that a little bit better, you might have been a goal. But that was, I was trying to figure out what I would have done in the situation because I feel like I might have just been a bit more patient here since he was a lot closer to the ball. He didn't go for it, which is really confusing to me. He didn't like turn around for it when I thought he could have. Yeah, you almost got that over him. That was a decent shot, but it's not quite enough pepper, not quite enough speed. Oh no!
Redirected my life.
That was incredible. You even flipped into it too. What the hell?
I think because I was pinned against the backboard, I didn't actually flip forward.
Oh, that sucks. Oh well. Good diagonal flip. Did boost a little bit more than you need to, but it's okay. I probably would have turned towards the ball here instead of away from the ball, just to to keep possession, especially after getting that big boost. You have a pretty large advantage. But working the ball in the corner can be difficult, so yeah. Good wave dash to keep to recover. So I would have been right there. It's probably gone for a demo on him. After seeing him trying to cut off your angle and potentially go for a demo on you, probably could have slowed down a bit and tried to hit him. Getting the boost isn't bad either, though. This is where drift catch would come in handy to get your car pointing towards your opponent's net. Instead, you try to catch it behind your car. Didn't use any drift. That's okay. You did get the boost, though.
I honestly thought he was gonna follow it off the air in the air when it went up the wall.
Where's that?
Right when he clears it here, and I see him get that boost, I could have sworn he would do something, and when he didn't, I should have turned faster, I think.
It's fine. You're getting a little bit too close here. That could have been easily a goal, I think. Interesting decision making here. So I got 7 boosts. Were we going for a bump on him here?
Yeah.
I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, I went for slide swipe on him.
Got it. I was thinking I'd probably either try to get that small boost in front of you and then turn back around for a shadow or a challenge. But that's not what happened. That's okay. That's not like a bad decision to go for the bump on him. I'm not a very bumpy player normally, so it's hard for me to say, yeah, you should be going for bumps on him here, or you shouldn't.
I try not to focus on them, but I try to weave them in whenever they're there. Like here, I'm trying to do it
right there. Yeah, just need to turn to him faster. Oh, he scored for you. Nice. That's nice of him.
He got me back. Got the redirect. He got this goal for me.
Safe.
My recovery was shit though. If it was a little bit better, I could have probably got him.
I'm trying to think what I would have done here. So right here, off of this recovery, I hate to say it, but in this situation, I might have tried to flip into him to push him away from the ball. As evil as that sounds.
No.
You were kind of side swapping him there, and if you just did a side flip, it would have knocked him to the heavens, basically to the left, and you would have had a ball possession here. Also, I probably would have kept pushing forward here, at least a little bit, and then I assume he's gonna get that mid boost, and if he's really good on the wall, he would turn around and go for some kind of wall shot. And at that point, I would turn around up here, once I get up to this point, if I see him going up the wall. If you don't see him going up the wall, then you can follow it and keep going with the ball. I'm curious to see what he does. Let's see. He's not going back up the wall. You do keep following it, though, just a little bit slower than I expected. Oh. Kind of a bad recovery there.
Yeah.
Unlucky. I want to go back over that though. That play, because that could have turned into something totally different. So you had 19 boost, 43 boost. I would be coming closer to the wall at this point, especially when you see him not go up the wall, because this is a chance for you to have possession. Maybe not get right underneath it, but at least get more behind it to the right-ish. That way, if you are able to get a possession, you can just go towards his net. Yeah, that recovery was just bad, so that's why you got scored on. Other than that, everything else was fine. The positioning part, really not the worst thing to mess up on. And it's not even that you messed it up, it's just I would have done something slightly different. And even if I would have done that, doesn't mean it would have gone in my favor. I just would have played it slightly different. I think the way you played it was okay, and it's definitely not the reason that you got scored on. The reason you got scored on was because of your crappy recovery. Which seems to be kind of a recurring theme, I think, for 2 of the goals now for you. And at least one other time that you got like in the goal, you got stuck in the goal. Oof.
I was praying he was going to hit the backboard again.
Yeah, that was a close one. That was a decent shot. You got to give that to him. Can't feel too bad about that. You were on low boost, so it was a very awkward spot. Was there anything you could have done to not be in that spot, though? Let's see. So after kickoff, that was a decent clear.
If I had turned in to the right instead of turning to the left to the wall.
Yeah, that, or you could also, if you didn't do that and you were still in the spot, you could maybe gone for like a wall save, or like maybe stayed up on the wall a little bit longer, in case you wanted to try to save it with like a wall shot, like coming off the wall and flipping into it. Might have been a little bit easier than this since you're on low boost. Either way, it was going to be a very hard save regardless, and he almost missed it. He slotted it in somehow. I don't mean to shit talk the wave dash kickoff, but if you did a normal kickoff there and it went that way and you had more boost than 10, that would have been a goal, probably. You were just a little bit short for that. Nice touch.
And the dream.
No! Damn. And he stole that boost from you too. That sucks. If you had that boost, that was a goal. That sucks. Well, I don't feel like you said, I don't feel like you played too bad that game. You made, like, the biggest mistakes there, honestly, were just your recoveries, and I guess like minor mistakes would be your decision making. Not really even like bad decision making, but maybe slightly inoptimal. Unoptimal? Is that the word? Something like that.
Not choosing the best path, choosing a path or a good path, but not the best
from
path.
Playing more 2s or 3s than playing 1s. I think just playing more 1s will kind of give you a better idea of where you're supposed to be. I don't know if you've been playing a lot of 1s or a lot of 2s or what.
I've been playing ranked 1s, not so much. I've been playing a lot of unranked 1s, which it's good and bad. I have like 2100 unranked MMRs, so sometimes I'm up against regular GCs that are just warming up. Sometimes I'm up against like crappy people, so it's kind of a hit or miss on what I get. But I try to, especially when I'm up against people who are doing high mechanic stuff, I try to out basic them.
Okay. Well,
but,
I don't think that was a very bad replay though. You definitely could have won that.
It's a recurring theme.
Yeah, that's 1v1s for you. Aside from a couple recovery mistakes, I think overall you were good. You had, I want to say, 2 dribble opportunities that you just didn't really put in the net, unfortunately. Your flicks looked a little bit just not as good as they should have been, and I think that was just from a little bit of panic on the dribble, or just, like you said, keeping an eye on your opponent too much instead of well, like, I guess like the goal of being able to dribble is to have it down so well that you can keep an eye on them and still be able to do something.
Yeah.
Like just like
not
have
quite
your
to that
dribbles
point
down
yet.
so well that it doesn't matter if you're keeping an eye on them. You should have like decent control all around. So not quite there yet, but I can tell it's looking a lot more. Your dribbles are looking a lot more consistent. A little bit jittery sometimes with your boost usage. I would recommend doing more like either no boost or very low boost dribbles just around the field, and
I need to get
kind of working with that.
better at speeding it up with no boost, because that's usually where I end up messing up with the tapping of boost. Because I can no boost dribble all around the field, because I have a drill now where I'll just go in between the boost nodes, like their traffic cones and shit.
That's a good idea. Nice.
But then when I'm trying to do it fast, it's a whole different ball game. That's when that's what I need to work on, is speeding up when I'm no boost dribbling.
I think just a normal custom training pack where it's just like a single shot basically that just like hands you the ball. Dribbling, I think while I am a fan of dribbling and doing like a lot of cuts and stuff, I did for quite a while just do a training pack that just hands me the ball and I would just kind of dribble in a straight line and work on a flick. That might be what you need right now, honestly.
Okay.
I agree with you.
The first shot of Verge Trainer is really good for that.
Yes, like the dribble training one.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. Maybe not that one, because that one puts you right down the middle. Maybe one that starts you more on the side.
Well, the second and third shots start you on the sides.
Yes, that would be probably better, because I don't want you going straight down the middle if possible. If you want to do that first one though, you can make yourself go. You can just drive yourself around to the side of it and then go towards the net. But I feel like that the very first one might be kind of bad because it starts you so far away. I feel like starting a little bit behind half court might be a little bit better. Maybe a little bit farther back, but around that area to the right or to the left, and just kind of mess around going in a straight line and doing like a 45-degree flick or any kind of flick you really feel like. Something that I felt helped me quite a bit when working on my dribbles and flicks was starting off not doing any 45-degree flicks for a little bit, but only doing like mainly just doing front flicks and side flicks just to get the basic flicks down. Just kind of have them as a, like, just since those are the easier ones, you want to have those kind of as a surefire way to be able to get a decent flick. I didn't see any side flicks, and there was definitely one situation in that game that I feel like a side flick might have been better.
I do side flicks a lot.
Okay.
But I just, at that game, in that
game you didn't have a whole lot of chances to.
A chance to do it.
Right.
But side flicks I definitely love, especially because if I mess up the 45, it usually ends up into a side flick for me.
Right. Okay. Cool. But that's one thing that you can work on for a little bit that you might see a little bit improvement on for your like straight line dribbles like that.
Okay.
Something else I remember working on was doing if you want to do like a longer dribble in a straight line or like close to a straight line, being able to slow the ball down after going really fast and then speed back up, slow down, speed up might be a little bit helpful for getting back in control of a ball that you're kind of losing. Honestly, like workshop maps, like the dribble training maps, that I feel like that would be a good place to do that in. Although the ground isn't really great for that, since it's kind of hard to tell depth perception on some of them. But it's just an idea.
I gotta find a good dribble one, because the only problem I have with a lot of the dribble ones is when they start doing the dribbles on the curved walls, and you can't roll it on that wall. I hate those.
I'd say for the more, if you have like one of those more straightaway, like kind of dribbled down the middle flicks that you're kind of farther away with the ball, that would be a good time to work on the Ostlon flicks, because they're basically like a front flick, except usually with slightly more angle, I guess, and it's a little bit harder
very
for
explosive.
to read.
Hit them right.
Yes, they can be good from
some people with them.
Oh yeah. But I can show you myself doing a couple of them.
1v1 related, but not related to this replay. Yeah. In the recent NA Salt Mine,
right.
Lion Blaze's kickoff, did the real thing that he changed really is that he was kind of flipping at it the opposite angle than he normally would? Instead of like drifting to the right and dodging to the left, he was drifting to the left and dodging to the right, it seems like, on like the diagonal and the slightly off center straightaway one.
I actually don't remember them.
Because they looked kind of awkward to me.
I can look it up here in a little bit if you want, but
okay.
I can let you know, because I don't remember what you're talking about, unfortunately.
No problem.
Or if you want to look it up, I'll look over this replay for a bit while you do that.
Already on it.
Find a good situation for it.
So yeah, we're gonna be doing.
Something else you could potentially work on as well is doing. Wait, give me 1 second here. I thought you do a diagonal flip on. So for the second goal that he scored, it looks like you just boosted the entire way through, and then you had no boost to be able to save it. It puts you in a really bad spot. But on the straight ahead one where you go over 3 boost pads, I don't know if you already do it, but you might want to start trying to incorporate the diagonal flip on it instead, since a diagonal flip gives you 5% more. Like it increases your speed by 5% more than like a normal front flip does, which isn't a lot, but it'll make you a little bit more dangerous on that one specific kickoff. And I don't think now that you do like the diagonal flip on the like slightly staggered like left or right kickoff that's straight ahead but to the left or right, I feel like since you're doing that, you kind of have an idea of how to flip in a straight line, and it looks like you're pretty consistent with it. Now that you can do that, it might be a good idea to start incorporating that into your straight ahead kickoff, since it would just be like a overall improvement by 5% or whatever, and you'd probably have to use a little bit less boost and you'd be able to save more on that one. Side stuff, no boost.
I thought that he was going to commit to a pinch there, and he
yeah,
then baited me in pretty hard.
Like you weren't reading his touch too, because you went where the ball was instead of where the ball was going to be going. You did flip towards it, but your angle of attack was just slightly off. That's okay, I guess. By the way, cute Fennec. It's nice and pink.
Thank you.
Ended up using all your boosts on that one. Oh well.
Hello, corner, my old friend.
So challenging sideways like this, after coming back, I'm not sure how I feel about. I think it might have been okay if you just went for it, as fast as you possibly could to catch him off, but you kind of also slowed down before doing it. It looks like you might have second-guessed yourself, and it gave him enough time to drop the ball off your car, it looks like. Let me make sure from his point of view. Yeah, he also flipped early, and once he saw you kind of hover towards the ball there, it looks like he decided to stop trying to bounce it or anything, and that's kind of what let him have that win. He just kind of waited back for you to hit it into him. But if you just went straight for it, maybe it would have gone in your favor. But that challenge from the side was definitely kind of awkward for just all around. You might have been able to do something different there. Like either go for a demo on him, or maybe go back and get your corner boost and turn towards him something like, let's say I'm your car. Instead of going towards the ball here, you could have either gone for a demo or gone past it, gotten this big boost, turned around sideways / towards him with a little drift or something, maybe gone towards him a little bit and then continued your shadow. Or you could even just challenge him after getting this big boost. But either way, I mean, the idea of the sideways challenge that you did wasn't bad until you just kind of slowed down before doing it. You hesitated. What am I doing? Player view. Great shot. Wow. Good timing on that one.
That's one of those situations where I feel like being more comfortable in the air, I would have shot it a lot earlier than waiting for it to bounce.
Let me see. That was gonna be a hard angle if you did, and it was gonna be a bit more risky than going for a bounce shot. Maybe that's just because I'm more comfortable with doing bounce shots, though. I don't think I would have gone for an aerial shot there personally. It was just a really tight angle to go for. It's kind of give away possession here, I think. You had vision on him a little bit. You knew he wasn't challenging. You could have slowed down here and maybe popped it and done some kind of other pop after you, if he did start getting closer. Instead, you kind of you did put it on net, but you basically gave away possession since it wasn't a very powerful shot, and he was kind of already behind the ball a decent amount. This right here would have been a good chance to go for some kind of wall shot, I think, if you felt comfortable with them. He was
with it that far off the wall, I would have failed that one.
Right.
For a quick turnaround. I could do that in the run up, but not.
Yeah. If you're really familiar with like turning on walls and doing wall shots, that would have been a good time to do it. I've been working on my wall shots just like religiously the past 2 days, so that's just me talking out of confidence of, since I've been doing that so much, they're like, oh, I could have just gone off the wall there, but
during our last session,
work out a lot.
I couldn't jump off the wall for shit at all, but now I'm able to catch it off the wall and do some hits off the wall. Just not consistently where I can just hit it and bang it. Mm-hmm. They're usually just for passes and 2s and 3s at this point, so.
Yeah. So I feel like you're using a lot more boost than you really need to in this retreat. Especially after that touch, you could have flipped back here. You opted to use all that boost instead. Which it wouldn't have mattered, I guess, since you did get that big boost pad, but I probably would have flipped there. Why is... This seems like such a good spot for him. I think what I probably would have done is gone for a bit more of an aggressive fake challenge here. You did do it slightly, but maybe not quite enough. Because if you went towards him a little bit longer, you could have turned back around towards your net and then been in a really good spot for shadowing, because you would have been able to get a bit more momentum to be able to save it. But since you kind of turned around early, you're having to slow down since you're so close to your wall here, and you just don't have that much space to be able to get some momentum to save it. That was a good flick from him, though, I have to say. That was pretty solid. Dominus flicks are OP. I say.
I have to be in the right mindset to play Dominus in ones.
Yeah, right. It's hard. Interesting. I probably would have waited here, maybe near back post / front post, at least until he did one more touch. Because right here, he was very close to just popping that over you, if we look from his point of view. Because you jump really far away from it. You kind of pre-jumped it, basically. Let's see. He did miss it, though. That wasn't the best touch. I feel like if that was any other touch, you probably shouldn't have gone for that. Or you would have been punished for it, but since he popped it really high off the ground, you got a little bit lucky with that one. So it popped super high whenever he bounced it. Look at the wave dash recovery. Nice, good for him. Back to cut. Aww.
Those moves only work on Ranny.
Here, honestly, it looks like you were trying to do the straight ahead dribble, but you couldn't get it on the right part of your car. Maybe you intended the cut play, but
I intended to cut, but I didn't intend to. I intended to not get it as hard on the first touch when I hit it over, so I could shoot it closer.
He was basically stagnant with his movement. He had no momentum whenever he turned here. Yeah, that first touch was just... Yeah, that touch was too hard, that first one. And your cut wasn't hard enough to get it away from him, so you couldn't get back around it to do another side flip shot or something. So, yeah, like I said, the ball just went straight to him. Looks like another reason... Well, basically just another reason to work on the dribble catches and... Actually, that reminds me, working on drift catches or just like catching in general might help you with setting up dribbles like that and getting those fast dribbles going straight down in a line. Or
I've been trying to work on drift dribbling it with it, catching and then adding a slight drift catch to it. But so far I can only get like maybe not even 90 degrees, not more than 90 degrees, so it would be like what, 100 degree turns.
Yeah.
I can't quite get it down to a sharp turn yet, but I'm getting a little bit better at trying to control that part. In the last match, I used it to turn around the car to at least get goal side.
Yeah. Well, I think you're gonna force my hand. I'm gonna have to finish my harder
drift catch tutorial
pack. Yeah, not drift catch tutorial, but I have another training pack that I've kind of just been keeping to myself, and it's just a lot of slightly harder catches than my normal drift catch training pack that I have. The normal one I have is fairly straightforward. Like the balls aren't going that fast, except like for maybe like one or two of them. The next one I made was it makes the ball go a lot faster, and it's going usually like sideways across the field. So you have to do like a sideways catch and then get it going towards the net. I can show you me doing a little bit of it. I just want to add like maybe one or two more shots and then I'll upload it. And maybe I can do that during this session. It'll be really quick and I can give you that. Tell me that just goes in. I wish. That would have been great. I think you guys both went for a demo there.
I think it was a game of chicken I lost because I didn't want to get demoed or double demoed.
This is another one where you're not getting the first touch good enough. The ball's like, you start going forward to get the ball back on top of your car, just like a half second too late, so the ball is too far forward on your car and it pushes the ball forward, and you have to rush to get up to it, and you didn't end up getting to it in time, so he was able to dunk you pretty easily. You didn't have a chance to do any kind of flick or pop or anything. Unfortunate. Well, the dyno, or those not dyno flips, but straight left or straight right kickoffs are looking really consistent with you. I think you've beaten him on two of those same ones so far. You're saving boost and you're doing it pretty accurately so far. Interesting. Happy you didn't go for a wall shot there. I would have been tempted to. You actually played it smart and went for a dribble. Good peace of mind, I think is the right word. I would probably do a faster recovery than this by either boosting downwards. Since it looks like he might be able to get some kind of catch, I'd probably boost downwards and then turn back towards the net immediately, since you have so much boost with a little drift turn, which you ended up doing, but you did it really... You basically landed on the other boost by the time you landed. And if he was good at catching the ball, he probably could have just dribbled that towards your net. Let's make sure, though. I'm not 100% sure. If it was me, I would have just done a really easy drift catch here and just dribbled it towards the net. But he did that, so sucks for him. I should not have been a goal. It was a 45 flick. It worked.
I don't think he expected me to actually pull one off.
I guess not. Wow. Because that was not the best one. It got some height on it. It still went towards the net. But I'm pretty sure you just had the ball too far back on your car on that one. I would say with your dribbles, you're consistently it's consistently looking like you have the ball too far back on your car when you're dribbling it, which is good if you want to go a bit slower. But if you want to move the ball forward and not waste too much boost, I would recommend keeping the ball a little bit farther forward on your car, especially if you're going for some kind of flick like this. The 45-degree flicks, this does work if it's a little bit farther back because it just pops it up, but that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get a more offensive, powerful 45 unless you start getting the ball on the right part of the car, which would be farther forward, maybe more to the left, just a little bit when you do the jump and flick. But that worked, so it doesn't really matter too much. But when you have the ball on top of your car, it looks like you might be relying on your boost a little bit too much. to speed up the play or keep the ball on top of your car when you could be using acceleration instead. Giving him a little bit too much space here considering he didn't have the ball on top of his car. Usually a good way to, like, for me, knowing where you should be shadowing, something I try to do is if they have the ball on top of their car, I give them more space, because that means they have a potential flick. If they don't have the ball on top of their car yet, or they're doing some kind of like bounce before they get on top of their car, I give them less space because that means they don't have a good spot to be able to flick it. And for a long time, or for quite a while, I think up until you get up to like Champ 3 to Grand Champ, most players aren't going to be able to catch the ball off a bounce and be able to flick it immediately, because they don't know how to match the speed of the ball quite well enough usually. So he's having to do two pops there, and then he even tries to go for some kind of flick, and look at that, it's just like, it's super duper weak. If you were close to that, you probably wouldn't be able to dunk it a little bit sooner. So that's just something to remember. If the ball is, if they don't have the ball on top of their car, they're still like bouncing it before they're going to get a dribble, I would keep closer to them. Once they get the ball on top of their car, and if you're not in a good spot to go for some kind of like early challenge, or like with a backflip or, you know, sideways turn and flip into it, then that's when you start speeding up and get a little bit more distance between them. And as long as you have enough momentum, if you just speed up, you'll be able to usually be able to save most of their flicks, as long as you start doing as long as you start speeding up as soon as you notice they have the ball on top of their car. It's a pretty good shot. Woo. Nice. Let's see from your point of view. Solid. Oh yeah. Power shot. Yeah. So on this one, I probably would have done instead of a side flip shot, it would have been better to do a diagonal flip shot, because the ball wasn't really changing angle too much. It was basically just like number 4 of the striker training pack. It's just bouncing straight down. It's not too high up of a bounce, but it's high enough where you can maybe air roll your car a little bit if you want to, and then just like slam it with the corner of your car. That shot right here probably would have been a lot scarier than your side flip shot. Since you do the side flip shot, it's a lot easier for him to kind of know which direction it's going, and it just wasn't on target too. So he's going for a lot of those early flicks. It seems like he's just not very comfortable with dribbling in his flicks yet. You did also kind of fake him out there by staying close to it, which is smart. You made him... What the fuck is he doing?
He was trying to demo.
He slowed down whenever he still had a chance to demo. Like right there. Why didn't he keep going? He still had like 30 boost. You even slowed down, like gave him a small chance too, I think.
Because I was watching, I was like, do I have to jump over you? Are you gonna think I'm just gonna go in? Okay, I'm gonna pass you.
He's like, nah, I'm not gonna demo you then. Oh my. Good job. You noticed he was having trouble. Right here, I might have been a bit more aggressive with this. Like, stayed a bit closer. But it probably wouldn't have mattered since he was slowly going to touch on it. You would have had to, like, done a really risky shot. Good try there with the cut. I feel like that was probably the right play, but you had to get around it a little bit sharper. Like, your first touch had to be stronger. And since it wasn't, you had to, like, touch it twice, and you just didn't have a big enough angle change. But that was definitely the right idea in that situation. You just couldn't keep it quite out far enough. And it's not even like you still have possession of it right here. Since you were bringing it out, you were able to just follow the ball, and you didn't just give him like a free shot to put on net or anything. So that was pretty good. Good drift off the wall there to get back. Kind of unfortunate with this. Yeah. Just gave him a little bit too much space here after turning around. Yeah, you stayed like in front of the ball instead of to the side of it. Just weren't keeping the same speed of it enough. You saw your boost on that one.
And then the light touch.
Yeah.
The dream killer. Every fucking replay we watch, it will have a dream killer.
Mm-hmm. It's a rough life.
I'm like fucking Diamond Jesse.
So right here, he had the ball on top of his car. What's the play right here?
For you, it'd be a aggressive shadowing and then turn.
Yep.
And not challenge him when he has it on top.
The early challenge, yeah, like the YOLO challenges, I think are fine to go for every once in a while. It's really just like, what do you think he was going to be expecting?
Oh, early fake challenge, I meant.
Yeah, right. I know what you were talking about. Which is basically what you did there. But you did it a little bit too long, and that could have easily been a goal if he did a correct side flick. I think he fucked up. But since he did have the ball on top of his car, you probably want to give him a little bit more space at first. But the thing is, like, going for the fake challenge is good, and that's fine and dandy, but you got too close to him, I would say. Once you saw it was on top of his car, you want to start speeding up again, and then maybe like slowed and then like a backflip challenge whenever he noticed that you weren't going to be challenging immediately. He did end up freaking out, and he was low on boost. This guy wasn't great at dribbling, so that might have worked out against him. I don't think I saw any YOLO early challenges whenever he did get the ball on top of his car. I feel like just throwing one of those in every once in a while might be good, just to keep your opponent guessing on what's happening. Against this guy, I guess it doesn't really matter, since he wasn't very good at dribbling anyway, and it seemed like he was fairly panicky anytime you got anywhere close to the ball. But I'm still curious how he would have reacted to just like an early challenge on.
I think the last time I tried, the reason I avoided early challenges on this guy was because of the second goal, where he just kind of stopped. So I was like, oh, this guy is gonna try to, avoid the 50-50 if I try to YOLO him.
Right.
And take possession. Those are still the people who destroy me. Those 50-50 gods that just kind of back away last second, no matter what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was just kind of
some panic right there.
Yeah.
I mean, the backflip play would have been fine if he did start going for it, but you just did it too early, it looks like. He was totally fine just sitting here. And yeah. Oh well. So he doesn't score it though? Okay.
Any boost.
Any boost, yep. Let's go back here though. Probably could have gotten possession there since he was going for an air dribble, if you're just able to get to it, but that last touch was pretty hard to read, so not too bad. Probably would have gotten that small boost pad instead of continuing the dribble on 0 boost. Actually, no, never mind. You couldn't have really done that since it was at 0 seconds by this point. I didn't notice that. Yeah, that's kind of rough. Yeah, I feel like it's like your shooting was okay. You didn't have any like really good shots. I would like to see you do more training for the diagonal flip shots and hitting it with the corner. I feel like you'd get more power and you could get more consistent with those, and it would be a lot more dangerous. Your dribbles looks like they still need some more work. They're good, but you're panicking whenever you have to catch the ball and get it going forward. And when you do have the ball on top of your car, it looks like you're keeping it a little bit too far back on your car sometimes whenever you want to be speeding it up, and you're using boost to speed it up a little bit too much. when you could just be accelerating to keep it the same speed as your car. I'd say like whenever you want to be using the boost when you're dribbling is like whenever the ball's slightly farther forward on your car and use the boost to keep it there or get it back on to the back of your car. And at that point you can just use acceleration or something. Or like feather your boost a little bit less. Other than that, I think your positioning was fine. Like the first game, it was a little bit worse. This time, it was honestly, I didn't think I saw as many like bad positioning plays. And I think it's looking a lot better. I feel like you should have a decent idea of what to be working on now, though. Definitely working on movement with dribbles, keeping the ball on top of your car, maybe going at speed and slowing it down. Drift catching would be helpful, so I'm actually going to go to that training pack right now. Let's see here.